For the second straight day, the Conejo Oaks are set to face the Arroyo Seco Saints. And today, the Oaks will host the Saints as we come to you live from George Sparky Anderson Field here on the beautiful campus of California Lutheran University. It's great to have you with us alongside Judo Kanyas. My name is Sammy Fawn. Now, last night at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field in Pasadena, we saw the Oaks re-enter the win column with what was a 4-1 win against the Arroyo Seco Saints last night at Jackie Robinson, and it was a good win for the Oaks after a very upsetting walk-off loss 2 days before against the MLB Youth Academy Barons. But today is another game where the Oaks will want to stay on top against the Saints. The Oaks now the 2 seed in the CCL, and the Oaks the 3 seed. Today should be a fun one.
Yeah, it was certainly a much-needed game that they won last night on Tuesday. Like you said, Jackie Robinson Field. And you talk about the pitching. You talk about guys like Charlie Decker. We even saw Max Strickland come in and have his best inning. He retired 3 straight batters and left the game. That was probably the best outing. So I think it was really the pitching staff that came through. And then obviously guys like Jacob Galloway hit his first home run of the season. And the bats were timely when the Oaks needed them. But this is a Saints team that they're still top, they're third place here in the South Division of the California Collegiate League. They're certainly no one to bat your eye at, and they're going to bring their best here today on Wednesday.
Yes, Charlie Decker, he was the winning pitcher for the Oaks. He pitched 5 quality innings of 1-run ball and 3 strikeouts. And today is another game that the Oaks will want to just maintain that pitching. And the starter today for the Conejo Oaks is going to be Gabe Howard. Howard making his second pitching appearance of this season. His last appearance came against the MLB Academy Barons. It was on June 21st. It was the walk-off win that the Oaks had, the walk-off single by Tommy Kenlinger. In that game, Howard pitched 2 shutout innings, no-hit innings, in fact, and struck out 3 batters, and Gabe Howard will face Lane Hayworth to start things off for the Conejo Oaks. It's great to have you with us as we get set for another Oaks home game. This is the Oaks' 15th game of the CCL season. Off we go, and it's a fastball high and outside for a ball. Well, Lane Hayworth in last night's game went 0 for 4, hitless at the plate, struck out a couple of times. And it was the Oaks' first win at home last night. They've now played 4 road games. There's another fastball outside. It's a 2-0 count on Lane Hayworth. So Hayward currently in the driver's seat at the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. He's the leadoff hitter in last night's game as well. He gets the start in center field today. 2-0 misses a little bit upstairs, and the count now 3-0 on Lane Hayworth, a rising junior at Wichita State University. Hit 4 home runs in 2025, slugged .323, drove home 13 runs. 3-0 is a fastball right on the outside corner as Hayworth took a step or 2 toward first, but he's called back to the plate, 3-1. Hayworth batted .182 in 2025 as well. He finished the year 18 for 99. 3-1 on the way. That misses inside, so a leadoff walk to Hayworth. We take a look at the batting order for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Very similar to yesterday. Lane Hayworth led off, Trotter Enright second. Jack Little batting third. He's at first base in the middle. Jacob Freer, Jax Ryan, and Cody Turner, the designated hitter, who also pitched an inning yesterday. And to finish it off, Keon Mosini, Johnny Garber, and Joey Milto. It was J.J. Canet who was the starting catcher in yesterday's game for the Saints. First pitch to Trotter Enright is slapped foul to the left side, 0-1. Enright yesterday went 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a walk. Gets his first at-bat of today. Hayworth, the runner at first, has great speed. Not a huge lead, but Howard checks on him. Defensively for the Conejo Oaks, Howard on the mound, Galloway behind the plate. Devin Wilkes is at first. At second base is Jax Jimenez. Tyler Hawley at third. Zach Mora is at short with Hewitt as the DH. No balls and 1 strike to Enright. There goes Hayworth. Pitches upstairs, throw down to second is not quite in time. So a stolen base for Lane Hayworth.
And that was a great play by Jacob Galloway to get out of his stance and get the ball over. Not just didn't get there in time to second base, but a true bang-bang play. And this is a team right here that the Saints love to steal bases. They are coming to this game with 37 stolen bases on the season.
And Hayworth leads the team in that category now with 7. 1 ball and 1 strike. That one is fouled straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And in the outfield for the Oaks from left to right, Isaac Veal in left field, Tommy Kenlinger, the everyday center fielder as he is now, and Henry Borjas in right field as Trotter Enright putting up a nice at-bat against Gabe Howard. He's got a 1-2 count. Hayworth, the runner at second. He's in scoring position. A single could bring him home, and Howard steps off. So the Saints definitely have an opportunity to do some damage here with Hayworth at second and nobody out. One on the way. 1-2 on the way. And that hits Enright, so he goes down to first. And the first 2 have reached via a free pass of some kind, but Enright gets hit by the pitch. So Saints now with 2 on and nobody out. First and second. Saints are cooking up some business here in the first inning.
Yeah, that's very different. We saw the first 2 Saint batters, which was Hayworth and Enright. In yesterday's match, they both got retired their first time at the plate, and now they are both on base.
Well, that now brings up Jack Little, the first baseman, just like yesterday. First pitch on the way. Little checks his swing. I don't think he went, and he did not. So 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Jack Little in yesterday's game went 2 for 4 with a single and a double. As Hayworth at second and Enright at first with nobody out here in the first inning. One 0 on the way. That one is slashed foul into the Samuelson parking lot. So 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Little.
As you went over the defensive lineup, I realized that it is Jack Jimenez making his now second start at second base. We saw him have a few struggles there, but as the game went on, he found his rhythm. So it's interesting now he's back in the infield today.
1-1 on the way. That hits the upper outside corner for a strike. 1-2. Yeah, I mean, with Brady Hewitt serving as the DH, and this is the second time that we'll have seen him as the designated hitter, he does fill in a pretty big gap in the middle infield. And with Zach Mora playing at shortstop for the Oaks. So a 1-2 count on Jack Little with 2 runners on and nobody out. 1-2 on the way. Strike 3 called, and Gabe Howard has his first strikeout of the day and his 4th of the season.
And Gabe Howard going into his sophomore season at Oregon. Last year made 5 appearances, posted a 5.87 ERA, had a 1-0 record. Allowed just 8 hits and 5 runs in the 34 batters he faced, allowing a .296 batting average in those batters that he did face.
Well, here's Jacob Freer getting the start at second base, much like yesterday. He went 1 for 4 at the plate yesterday with the single. So 2 on now with 1 out. There's a fastball strike on the inside corner, clocked at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, Jacob Freer was someone that gave Galloway behind the dish some trouble, as Freer had 2 stolen bases yesterday.
So no balls and 1 strike. Hayworth and Enright the runners. The 0-1. A swing and a miss. Howard blew that one right by him, and that was again 90. Same pitch, different location.
Yeah, we saw Howard very productive, as you already alluded to, Sammy, but he retired 6 straight in that first appearance against the Academy Barons in the 7th and the 8th inning, leading way to Tate Fox and ending that game.
Perfect innings in relief. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, 91 that time. Well, 1-2 count. Still a big spot for the Saints here in the first inning. They are in a scoring opportunity with Hayworth at second and Enright at first. 1 out here in the first inning. 1-2 to Freer. That one is slashed foul to the left side. Still 1-2. Well, yesterday we saw the Oaks strike first in that first inning. And, you know, the first run was scored in a rather bizarre fashion with what was seemingly a routine pop-up by Devin Wilkes. It just fell right in between Liam Thatcher and Jax Ryan. 1-2 on the way. That one is fouled away again, so still 1-2. Well, the Saints early on, you know, giving Gabe Howard some reps, making him work for his pitches as Freer has fouled off some of his own.
Yeah, the Saints had some communication problems earlier on that game that cost them a run or two.
Ultimately, perhaps the game, because in baseball it really is one little thing that could make a difference in the end. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayworth and Enright, the runners at second and first. Another 1-2 to Freer. Misses upstairs. It's now an even 2-2 count.
This is Howard's first ever start as a Conejo Oak. He spent last season, or I should say last summer, with the Springfield Drifters in the West Coast League, where he appeared in 7 games. 3 of those he started, pitched a total of 18 innings.
Two on the way. That one is fouled straight back. That one had some kind of carom, and it's another foul, another good swing by Jacob Freer, seeing some little birds make appearances on the field between pitches. I guess they've never heard of Randy Johnson. 2-2 with 1 out and 2 runners on. Howard delivers. Freer bounces it to the right side. Devin Wilkes will throw to second base for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Not hit nearly hard enough to turn 2. But the Oaks do get a big out. It's a fielder's choice. They get the middle runner, Trotter Enright. And so the Saints now have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, I see the idea there by Wilkes, but yeah, like you said, Sammy, the ball just wasn't hit hard enough, and Wilkes had to take another second to collect and fire it to second base. And by that time, Freer is a pretty fast runner, as we saw yesterday, so he was able to get to first with some time.
That brings up now Jax Ryan, who went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. He's a guy that we've seen in the middle infield. We've also seen him at third base, as we will see him today. First and third, 2 outs. First pitch way outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
And it's been the walks and the hit by pitches thus far that have landed these guys on base thus far for the Saints, and they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how worst of an enemy those can be to pitchers. Walks and hit by pitches as Ryan fouls that back. On deck is a guy that we saw both at the plate and on the mound, Cody Turner, and we'll talk more about the fascinations that came about that in the game yesterday. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Hayworth and Freer, the runners. 1-1 to Ryan. Popped up right side, in the air to right. Henry Borjas underneath it, and he makes the catch. So the Saints get a couple runners on, no hits. 1 walk, a hit by pitch, and no runs. And we head to the bottom of the first, no score. We'll be back. Here we are now in the bottom of the first inning here at George Sparky Anderson Field. The starting pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints is Tyler Herges, making his 4th start of the season. Herges 1-0 on the season so far. He was the winning pitcher in the 8-0 shutout win that the Saints pulled off against the Oaks on June 17th, 2 Tuesdays ago. He went 4 innings that game. That is his game high this season, and he throws a strike to Tommy Kenlinger, leading things off for the Oaks today, as he did yesterday. Kenlinger went 2 for 5 with a double and a single. Started off last night 2 for 2. Kenlinger with a check swing, and he went around, so the count now 0-2 on Tommy Kenlinger. Kenlinger, a rising senior at Biola, waits for an 0-2. Lined on a hop, couple of hops to second. Freer throws to first for the first out. Brings up Zach Mora, who's getting the start at shortstop today. Zach Mora, sophomore at Westmont College. Missed his first season due to an injury. He did hit 1 home run, and he gets his first looks of today, and he shows bunt and pulls it back for a ball as that one misses upstairs. Well, Tyler Herges, he's made appearances against the San Diego Waves and the Orange County Riptide and the Conejo Oaks, so 3 teams essentially across 4 games, as Mora fouls that one off to the left side. And so far, Herges has, in the 3 games that he's pitched up until today, 2 out of the 3 have been wins for the Saints, and he's been the pitcher of record in one of the wins, as Mora swings and misses at that one. He falls behind 1-2.
Mora attended Grace Brethren High School, where he was the 2023 league MVP.
1-2 misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to starting shortstop for the Oaks.
Making his 2nd start at shortstop this season for the Oaks. He's kind of moved between third base, DH, and...
Ground ball up the middle. Nice play by Enright, moving to his left. Throw to first is in time. Beautiful play by Trotter Enright, as he covered a lot of ground going up the middle, scooped it up, turned around, and threw on a hop, and a great pick on the receiving end as well by Jack Little.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen Enright do it. He even did it last night to get another out, and it's just he goes into a spin cycle, and you got to talk about the accuracy as a shortstop to be able to turn your whole entire body 360 and then even make the throw and get it on time. All of that in one. Pretty impressive. Enright continues to impress both offensively and defensively for the Saints.
Here's Jacob Galloway, who went 2 for 4 in yesterday's game, as he launches one to right field. It's going to fall for a base hit. That is his 3rd hit in the last 2 games, and I was just going to say he hit a no doubt 2-run home run over the right center field fence in last night's game. That came in the 5th inning.
Yeah, talked to him yesterday. He said that one just felt good right off the bat. And he just recently committed to Oregon State. Spent the past season at Texas A&M, so now moving on to his 3rd school in his collegiate career.
Here's Tyler Hawley getting his first looks of today. He went 1 for 2 yesterday with a sac bunt and a walk. Singled his first time up last night as he looks at a fastball that misses downstairs for a ball. Well, the Oaks 9-5 on the season so far. They re-entered the win column last night and snapped the Saints' 2-game winning streak. 1-0, a check swing, and Hawley did not go around, so he's ahead 2-0. Well, the Oaks played a game in the last 2 road games. Last 2 games have been on the road against the Barons and the Saints. They've got another road game coming up on Friday at Eddie Matthews Field against the Santa Barbara Foresters, as that one's fouled off to the left. Forster's first place in the CCL South,
Yeah,
10-3.
continues to be the team to beat here for the Oaks. But, I mean, you look at the top 4 of these standings in the South, it's going to be a good race all the way up until the end of the season. I mean, you pretty much have 4 games that is difference between 4th and 1st place.
2 balls and 1 strike. Holly gets plunked in the shoulder, so he will head down to first base. That is the second hit batter we have seen today. 1 for the Saints and 1 for the Oaks. And we have seen just 1 base hit among 4 base runners.
Yeah, the only hit thus far in today's match. But to finish up on the road games, I think that road game that the Oaks won yesterday was just vital. You just talked about the schedule that the Oaks have ahead. I mean, even that game on Saturday is playing at Ventura County College. I mean, it's not even here in George Sparky Anderson. So it's really 3 straight road games for the Oaks. So it was important to pick up the first one.
Devin Wilkes slaps that one foul to the left side, 0-1. Well, Wilkes, talked about him earlier, picked up the first run, an RBI for the Oaks last night. It was on an RBI single in the first inning that just was a routine pop-up that landed right in between Liam Thatcher and Jax Ryan. As the 0-1 is skied foul, it will get out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
And I'll say for our own grace, the stats have now finally updated, as Wilkes has now been credited officially for a home run that he hit back on June 8th versus the San Diego Bombers, making it now 3 Oaks with a home run this season.
0-2 on the way. There's a fly ball high and deep to right center field. Going back is Milto at the wall. It's off the wall. In to score is Galloway. Right behind him is Holly. And Devin Wilkes puts the Conejo Oaks on the board first. It's a 2 RBI double, and the Oaks lead 2-0.
Yeah, that was a beautiful piece of hitting. I thought it was going to go beyond the fence, but that's just the second thing that you want if you're Devin Wilkes right there. You clear the bases on a double, and a job well done.
Job well done indeed, as that ball went about halfway up the wall. It definitely had a chance. It had the height. Nevertheless, you know that Wilkes will take 2 runs right there to his name, as that one is fouled straight back by Jax Jimenez, starting second baseman, as we talked about. Yeah, and that was about the same location where Wilkes hit his home run against the Bombers. No balls and 1 strike. That one drops in there for a strike, 0-2. Well, Jax Jimenez went hitless yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. He's behind 0-2 with Wilkes at second, and 2 outs. 0-2. There's a fly ball near the line in left field. It could be trouble. It drops in fair. Coming in to score is Wilkes. And Jimenez will hold at first. He's got an RBI single of his own. And he plates Devin Wilkes. It's now a 3-0 lead for Conejo.
Yeah, that's got to feel real good for Jax Jimenez, who in the past 3 games has not recorded a hit. And right there, he gets an RBI single to go. And that would have been a tough play right there for Jax Ryan on the third baseline. Just not able to really locate the ball. And it was tough. I mean, he was running, pretty much towards the fence, and he pretty much had to turn around his shoulder and try to make the play. But a great piece of hitting there from Jax Jimenez now.
Brady Hewitt, the designated hitter, comes to the plate, and that ball is dropped behind the plate by Johnny Garber. That'll be a pass ball that allows Jimenez to go to second. Brady Hewitt was the starting shortstop in yesterday's game. This is the second time we've seen him as the designated hitter, a position where he served 1 game of his after getting hit in the face by a ground ball that took a tough hop, as that one misses in the dirt for a ball.
And everything's working right now for the Oaks, and they've put on 3 runs with 2 outs here in the first inning.
Hewitt went hitless 0 for 4 in last night's game. 2-0. Fastball high and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Jimenez, guy in scoring position who can run pretty well. Isaac Veal waits on deck. 3-0. Fastball strike hit the upper part of the zone. It's 3-1 now. Tyler Herges making his second appearance this summer here at George Sparky Anderson Field as the 3-1 is a fastball strike. It hits the outside corner. It's a full count on Brady Hewitt. Oaks have jumped out to 3 runs over the Saints. Full count with Jimenez at second and 2 outs. 3-2 to Hewitt. Is fouled away. That one will end up by the parking lot, so still a full count. Out goes Charlie Decker, yesterday's winning pitcher for the Oaks, to give the umpires more baseballs. Full count on Brady Hewitt. 3-2 on the way. A swing and a miss. Herges gets Hewitt to climb the ladder and chase that one well. The Oaks score 3 runs in the bottom of the first. It's 3-0 Conejo. We head to the second. Stay tuned. One inning done here at George Sparky Anderson Field. It's 3-0 Oaks as we enter inning number 2. Leading off for the Saints is Cody Turner, the designated hitter. Now, there was a very strange scenario in last night's game. So Turner was the starting DH in last night's game as well, but he also came on to pitch in the 3rd inning, and then that was the only inning he pitched, and he would return to the DH spot as he looks at a fastball outside, but you know, he was relieved on the mound, but he returned. He remained in the starting lineup as the designated hitter, got in at bat, and then the Oaks head coach David Solis went out to talk to the umpires about that move by the Saints as Turner swings and misses. It's 1-1. And it ended up being, I'm not even sure how long, probably between like at least a 10 to 15 minute conversation between Solis and the umpires, and also Aaron Millen, the head coach for the Arroyo Seco Saints, as Turner takes a fastball outside. But looking back, I don't know, it was just, and it's funny because I did suspect correctly at the beginning that they were talking about Turner's eligibility to return to the DH position in the lineup. And, you know, I give Solis a lot of credit for talking to the umpires and checking on that, you know, no matter how long it took, because at the end of the day, that was really a rule check. And the most important part was getting the application of the rule correct. As it's 3-1 on Cody Turner, he swings and misses, and the count runs full.
And looking at the actual rule book in Section 7 of the NCAA 2025 rule book in baseball, it actually does say the DH may be inserted as the pitcher, then subsequently be relieved as the pitcher and remain as the DH.
Turner takes the fastball outside. It's a leadoff walk, and you know, it's a rule that it makes sense and sounds like it basically has to happen in, you know, in one time slot, one motion. So Cody Turner is on first to lead off the second inning for the Saints. Brings up Keon Mosini, who came into the game as a pinch runner in last night's game. Throw to first, and they got him. Gabe Howard picks off Cody Turner at first. Boy, what a quick move that was by Howard. And, you know, Turner, you saw him flinch for about a millisecond, and, you know, it was just too close for him at first base to get back there. As Mosini now waits for his first pitch with nobody on and one out. Takes a fastball upstairs. So a big out here in the second inning as the Oaks still with a 3-0 lead. 1-0 on the way. That one is cracked to right field, and that one is foul, and it sounded as if the bat shattered a tad. You can't really see wood shrapnels, but it didn't sound the best coming off the bat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that physically cracked out to right field. That was, you could hear it off the bat. So gets a new bat now.
One ball and one strike. With one out here in the second inning, Howard delivers. It's a fastball downstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, seeing that happen here, what that comes down to for me is, you know, watching and calling 4 years of metal bats and then a summer of wood bats. 2-1 from Howard. Fouled straight back. It's now an even 2-2 count.
Mosini, a rising senior at Central Arkansas and Ontario, Canada native. Spent the past season, like I said, Central Arkansas, where he batted .333 in the 3 games that he started.
2-2 on the way. Popped foul to the left side. It's still a 2-2 count on Keon Mosini. Well, the Oaks, you know, for the second straight night, for the second straight day against the Saints, out in front first, and a pretty good margin here, though no lead is safe. 2-2 on the way. Misses upstairs. It's a full count on Keon Mosini, so good at bat. Mosini's working up, you know, especially after the pickoff of Turner at first, sort of changes your mindset as a hitter. 3-2 on the way. Fouled straight back. Count remains full on Mosini. Well, the Saints put 2 runners on in the first inning, a walk and a hit by pitch, and that was another walk. Saints have yet to get a hit in this game. Oaks now have 3 of their own. 3-2 on the way. Mosini looks at a ball up and in, so the 3rd walk issued by Gabe Howard, and the Saints with back-to-back walks. And that'll bring up Johnny Garber, the catcher for the Saints. Garber was not the starting catcher in last night's game. It was J.J. Connett who recorded a hit.
Talk about no lead being safe. We just saw that on Sunday. Oaks blowing a 7-3 lead in the bottom of the 9th inning. So, yeah, no lead is certainly safe.
First pitch high and outside to Garber. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Johnny Garber for the Arroyo Seco Saints. We've seen him start as the catcher. We saw him in the 8-0 win. Rising senior at Arizona State, where he transferred after 2 years at Paradise Valley Community College, and he swings and misses for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. His 2 seasons at Paradise Valley, he was a career .224 hitter, Played 54 games, threw out 21 runners in his 2 years there. Also played locally at Pinnacle High School. And he grounds that one foul backwards. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Pinnacle High School in Arizona has produced a lot of talent when it comes to both baseball and football. Quarterback for New Orleans Saints, Spencer Rattler, came from Pinnacle High School.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Mosini at first. A swing and a miss. So Gabe Howard with his 2nd strikeout of the day. 2 gone here in the 2nd inning. Brings up Joey Milto, the right fielder for the Saints. Milto came in later in the game last night as a pinch hitter for Noah Williams. So Mosini, the runner at first with 2 outs.
Yeah, Milto actually played a majority of that game. We only saw Noah Williams for 1 at-bat. Milto was 1 for 3 in his...
As Milto tips that one right into the glove of Gallo for a first pitch strike. The Saints have the top of the order back on deck. Has Mosini, the runner at first, with 2 outs. Throw to first, and Mosini gets back safely. Saints had their leadoff walker, Cody Turner, picked off at first base. That was the first out. There's a swing and a miss, no balls, and 2 strikes. Well, you know, the Saints only scored 1 run in last night's game. They didn't get exactly a whole lot of big opportunities at the plate, other than, you know, the biggest opportunity they had was that 9th inning when it looked as if they were getting into the head of Regan Gale. So that one misses outside, and I think for a while they were, as Gale had walked 2 batters, and of course we had seen what had happened the game before with the Oaks with the walk-off 3-run home run by Tommy Gooden after the, or in what was a 5-run 9th inning for the Barons 2 games ago. There goes Mosini, pitches inside, throw down to second is high, and not in time.
Yeah, good attempt there from Galloway, but better base running there from Mosini, who got a good leadoff and able to slide in safely, but the throw was over the head of Moore. He made a good job not to let the ball roll into center field, so just holding Mosini for 1 stolen base.
And that is his first stolen base of this season. It's a 2-2 count on Joey Milto with Mosini in scoring position and 2 outs. 2-2 on the way. Check swing, strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Gabe Howard with his 3rd strikeout has thrown 2 shutout innings. We head to the bottom of the 2nd. Stay tuned. We enter the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 Oaks as Isaac Veal leads things off for the Oaks, getting the start in left field today. Veal did not see action in last night's game, so gets a chance to get something started for the Oaks here. Herges issues the ball upstairs on the fastball, 1-0. We'll see if Herges can have a better inning here and rebound from his first inning hiccups as he allowed 3 runs. As Veal fouls that one away, it's an even 1-1 count.
Yeah, we saw Veal as the DH in the 7-8 loss versus the Barons last Sunday. It was interesting. He was actually supposed to be starting out in left field, and then minutes right before first pitch, he got changed to DH and put Henry Borjas out in left field.
Swings and misses at that one. He falls behind 1-2. Veal, a rising junior at Westmont College. He hit 3 home runs in 2025. Takes one upstairs, and we have not seen him go yard for the Oaks, but still in the first month, 2-2. Misses upstairs. It's a full count on Isaac Veal. Henry Borjas, who you just mentioned, waits on deck. Borjas, the guy we've seen from left to right. And there's a swing and a miss, so Tyler Herges with his second straight strikeout and his second total of the day. 1 gone.
Now batting, number 28, Henry Borjas.
Brings up Henry Borjas for the Conejo Oaks, getting the start in right field. The very first game the Oaks played this season against the Coastal Dodgers, he was the leadoff batter. First pitch is high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Henry Borjas, rising junior, played a couple of years at Ventura College, and he looks at a ball downstairs. He hit 2 home runs in 2025. He stole 5 bases. 2 balls and no strikes. Herges delivers. There's a fly ball high in the air to center field that had some good wood sound on it, but it's plenty playable for Lane Hayworth for the second out.
2 straight batters now retired for the Oaks, as last time we saw them with 2 outs, they were able to produce 3 runs in that first inning. See what they can do here.
Back to the top of the order for the Oaks, it's Tommy Kenlinger, who grounded out his first time up. Takes one in the dirt, that goes to the backstop.
Yeah, Kendallinger has had a hit in the 7 of the 8 games he's played so far this season.
There's a fastball that misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, it's hard to think or hard to believe he came a few games into the season, because he has been a deliverer consistently for the Oaks as he fouls that one off. 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, we've talked a lot about his range in center field and the amount of ground he can cover in such a short time. He's ahead 2-1 as Tyler Herges delivers. It's fouled off again, and the count is now even at 2. Well, the Oaks right behind the Foresters in the CCL South, having won just 1 game less than them. Oaks are 1-1 against the Foresters this season. Right side, right at Jack Little. He steps on the base, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Herges as we now head to the 3rd inning. 3-0 Oaks. We'll be back. This game is brought to you by Pizza Man Dan's. With 8 locations, Pizza Man Dan's serves all of Ventura, Oxnard, Port Hueneme, Moore Park, Carpinteria, and Camarillo. A 15-plus year pizza business and located locally to Cal Lutheran on Moore Park Road, as that one is chopped off the glove of Howard, and Mora can't come up with it either.
Back-to-back miscues right there, and we've already talked about it a few times, just letting the Oaks pitchers letting the ball go through and landing in the middle of the infield, and right there, that's one that Howard probably should have just let roll, or I should say let chop through the first base.
It will be an error, I believe, on Gabe Howard. And that'll bring up Trotter Enright for the Saints. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. First pitch. That hits the corner for a strike, 0-1. So for the second straight time, Lane Hayworth is at first. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 on the way. Hayworth holds his position as Enright flies one to center for Kenlinger, who comes in and makes the catch for the first out. Well, that brings up Jack Little for the Saints, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. One gone here in the third inning. Hayworth at first. Pretty good lead. Was kind of dancing around throughout that at-bat. Check on Hayworth, and he gets back safely. Rather close, though. Of course, we did already see Howard pick off Coney Turner in the second inning. And that was, you know, in very similar fashion, a play where Cody Turner did not read Howard's move and ended up getting back to the bag too late. No balls and 1 strike. There's a strike, and beg your pardon, now it's 0-1.
Howard's done a good job through about 2 innings and a little bit more here for his, and what is kind of his longest mound appearance.
No balls and 1 strike. There goes Hayworth. Pitches high. Throw down to second is not in time. Well, Lane Hayworth with a stolen base. He has his second of this game. He's now got 8 stolen bases on the season. He leads the Saints in that category.
Yeah, that throw was just milliseconds late. It was another good job by Galloway. But, yeah, I mean, Hayworth, he has been trouble for the Oaks when he does get on base, and he's showing again why this today.
1 ball and 1 strike. Howard delivers, and there's an off speed that drops in there for a strike. 1-2. The Saints, they've got a lot of speedsters in their lineup. You know, anything they can do to get runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs and give themselves the best chance to win. They still don't have a hit yet. 1-2 is lifted in the air to right, just beyond the Saints bullpen. So it's still a 1-2 count.
Yeah, and just going back to that 9th inning when you talked about Regan Gale having his struggles at the mound and trying to close out the game. Yeah, talking to Jacob Galloway yesterday, he pretty much just went up to him and said, "You got this, man." That was as sweet as it got, as short as it got. And Gale was able to get through the inning unscathed.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Howard delivers, and he fouls that one back. So still a 1-2 count.
But it's great to have someone behind the dish for the Oaks, someone of the experience that Jacob Galloway has now heading into his senior season. understanding the amount of pressure that pitchers are getting under and realizing in moments, take a break, take a second to relax. He did just that, and Gale was able to deliver.
1-2 pitch. In the air to center field. Kendlinger underneath it. He makes the catch. Hayworth tags and will advance to third, and he will make it safe. So the Saints now with a runner at third with 2 outs, and this is the second inning that we've seen the Saints get a runner to third with 2 outs. But we'll see if the Saints can capitalize on an opportunity here. As Jacob Freer is the batter. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up.
Yeah, the Oaks pitching staff did a pretty good job with keeping Saints runners stranded yesterday.
First pitch. That one is fouled straight back beyond the stadium. 0-1. Well, Gabe Howard is starting off with a strong season. Mentioned he threw a couple innings against the Barons last Saturday. 2 perfect innings. That's low and outside. Throw down to third. Not quite in time. Well, Galloway ambitiously trying to pick off Hayworth at third. Hayworth, a very fast runner.
Yeah, Hayworth is very risky on these bases. It's turned out well for him thus far, but one wrong move and the Oaks could get out of this inning.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled straight back. It's 1-2 on Jacob Freer. Jax Ryan waits on deck.
Would even shock me if Hayworth even tried to steal home here.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Howard 1 strike away from getting out of trouble again. 1-2 on the way. Fastball high and outside. It's 2-2. Saints looking to cash in here. They've had a couple opportunities to score. Witnessed a pickoff in the second inning that may have cost them. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gabe Howard with his 4th strikeout. And he ends the third inning scoreless. We now head to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Oaks. We'll be right back. Bottom of the third inning, Tyler Herge's day is done after going 2 innings of 3-run ball that he allowed in the first inning. He yields way to Chris Hernandez-Vides. Well, Chris Hernandez-Vides, a rising redshirt senior at Azusa Pacific, who spent his freshman through his junior years at Cal State San Bernardino. He redshirted his junior year as a first pitch foul out of play by Zach Mora. Well, Chris Hernandez-Vides making his 3rd appearance on the mound. He previously pitched against the Oaks back on June 15th in what was an 11-2 loss for the Saints. That was 2 Sundays ago. And this season he does not have a record yet, a 2.07 ERA. He's pitched in 4 1/3 total innings. Struck out 3 batters as Mora swings and misses through that one. No balls and 2 strikes. And Chris Hernandez-Vides has allowed 4 hits so far this year. And he's ahead 0-2 on Zach Mora. He deals, and Mora lifts a high fly ball in the air to left field. Moving to his right is Mosini, and he drops the ball right by the line. So Mora is into second to start the inning, and that's going to be an error on Mosini in left field.
Yeah, that's just a tough one if you're Musini. He was under the ball. He was right there, and he just couldn't bring it in. And Moore now already on second base, runner in scoring position for the Oaks here with 0 outs.
I wonder if he lost it in the sun. As Jacob Galloway steps to the plate. He singled and scored his first time around. So now Mora, the runner at second, for Galloway here in the bottom of the third. Galloway looks at a high fastball for ball 1. Well, the Oaks already have a 3-run lead against the Saints, and they have a chance to make the Saints pay severely for that error. 1-0. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Galloway, we saw him launch that 2-run blast over the right center field fence in last night's game at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field.
Yeah, also had an RBI single, probably his best game thus far for the Oaks offensively.
Check on Mora at second as he gets back safely, and the ball skips away a little bit from Trotter and Wright. So still a 1-1 count on Galloway. He's got a chance to drive home Mora with a single here. One. Line drive into left center field for a base hit. Mora will come to the plate. Galloway on his way to second base. He is safe under the tag. And it's now 4-0 Oaks as Mora scores on an RBI double by Jacob Galloway.
And talk about that base running there. That was certainly risky base running to go for the double. And he just slides in safely as the throw all the way from center field by Hayworth going into Freer. It's just a millisecond late, but Galloway continuing his hot streak in back-to-back games versus the Saints.
And there's an unearned run to Chris Hernandez-Vides' name, so the Oaks, they do make the Saints pay for that error. As Tyler Holly steps to the plate. Looks at a fastball down and in, 1-0. Well, Holly was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and then he came around to score on the RBI double, the 2 RBI double by Devin Wilkes that hit the right center field wall. 1-0 to Holly. He bunts it to the left side. Look at this thing. That is a beauty. And it's now first and third with nobody out as Tyler Holly lays down a gorgeous bunt and reaches first with a single.
Yeah, you could not execute a bunt more perfectly as it rolls all the way just between third base and home plate on the left side. And Holly, with his speed, is able to get to first base in time and Yeah, now runners at the corners for the Oaks, and they have a real opportunity to add even more insurance with Devin Wilkes, who we already saw with a base-clearing RBI double.
Saints haven't seen that one from Holly this year. So it's Galloway at third and Holly at first. Nobody out. 4-0 Oaks. Wilkes grounds it to the left side. Play made at third by Ryan. Throw to second for one. On to first for the double play. Galloway does come in to score, though, as it's now 5-0 Oaks. And if Mosini catches that first out, that run wouldn't have scored. But it's 5-0 Oaks, and trading in the double play, or trading a run for a double play, that's a trade-off I imagine the Saints would make any day.
Yeah, I think the Oaks, now with a 5-0 lead.
Slapped foul to the left side by Jax Jimenez, batting now from the right side. Switch hitting second baseman. Jimenez had an RBI single his first time up on a high pop that just landed right in between Ryan and Mosini. That one is popped up to the right side. Little moves into foul territory and is able to make the catch. Damage has been done, though. The Oaks get two more. It's 5-0 Oaks as we are now a third of the way through this game. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We now enter the fourth inning, and Gabe Howard's day on the mound is done. He throws 3 shutout innings, and now he yields way to Damon Villa, making his 5th pitching appearance this season so far. He has a 1.68 ERA, has struck out 2 batters, has pitched in 5 1/3 cumulative innings. And he gets ready to face Jax Ryan to lead off the 4th inning for the Saints. Ryan flew out to right his first time up. It's great to have you with us again. If you're just joining us, I'm Sammy Fawn alongside Judo Kanyas. That one misses outside. Well, Damon Villa was last seen on this past Sunday in the 8-7 upset loss against the MLB Academy Barons at MLB Youth Academy. 1-0. Misses downstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And this past Sunday was the most trouble that Villa had seen so far this season. He allowed 1 run, as well as 1 hit. As Ryan takes ball 3 upstairs, he's ahead 3-0.
Yeah, someone that was part of the 2024 championship team for the Conejo Oaks.
3-0, a swing and a miss. It's now a 3-1 count on Jax Ryan. Like to continue to give a shout out to the Conejo Oaks sponsor Pizza Man Dan's, located most locally on Moore Park Road, as Ryan lifts the ball to right center field, and Tommy Kenlinger moves to his left to make the catch. 1 gone here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up Cody Turner for the Saints, getting his 2nd plate appearance. He walked and then was picked off at first. His first time up without even seeing a pitch on the bases. So he gets his 2nd attempt at the plate today. He did pitch an inning yesterday, as there's a fastball outside. 1-0 on Turner.
Yeah, he just made his California Collegiate League debut yesterday for the Saints.
Popped up left side, foul territory. It will fly out of play, right behind the screen. Oh, Cody Turner. Yeah, must have recently added to the roster for the Saints. As you mentioned, he made his debut yesterday. Takes one outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. One out here in the 4th inning. Villa delivers a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Well, the Saints yet to score, as they were shut down by Gabe Howard in the first 3 innings. 2-2. Slapped foul to the left side. Still a 2-2 count on Turner. We've seen him get some good reps at the plate. He's fouled off some pretty tough pitches, as he waits for a 2-2 from Damon Villa. Villa delivers. That one misses outside. It's a full count on Cody Turner. Keon Mosini waits on deck as the 3-2. Fastball outside, so the 2nd time Turner has drawn ball 4.
It's only the 3rd walk that Villa has allowed this season.
That'll bring up Keon Mosini. Mosini also drew a walk his first time up. It's 5-0 Oaks here in the 4th. First pitch. There's a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, the Saints have had now 4 walks on their side at the plate. Check on Turner at first. This time he gets back safely.
Yeah, they still remain hitless through 3 innings.
Both sides have committed 1 error defensively. Turner with a big lead, as there's a fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oaks ought to be on the lookout for the steal, the lead that Turner took, taking quite a few sporadic steps off first base. 1-1. That one is an off-speeder inside on the corner. So it's 1-2 on Keon Mosini. Mosini has a chance to redeem himself a bit after making that costly error in left field that ultimately led to 2 runs. Throw to first, not quite in time. As Turner dives back safely. Johnny Garber waits on deck for the Saints. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Villa delivers. There's a line drive. Base hit to left field. That's twisting away from Veal. Turner will go to third. On his way to second, Mosini. He is in there. And it's now second and third with 1 out on a double by Keon Mosini.
It's a big way to respond after his error in left field. Just gets it over the head of Tyler Hawley on that down the third base line. And it was quite a run that Veal had to make all the way pretty much into foul territory to go grab that ball and able to hold Turner at third base. But nonetheless, you have 2 runners now in scoring position for the Saints as they could make things interesting with the 1 swing of the bat from Johnny Garber.
Yeah, the way that ball looked at first, it looked like, a single where Turner would go to third, but it just kept twisting as it was rolling on the ground. So the Saints have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. They are chasing 5 runs. As Johnny Garber looks at ball 1 that drops a little low. Infield is back for the Conejo Oaks. Not a situation where you desperately need to have the infield in, because even on an RBI ground out, it'll still be a 1-run lead for the Oaks. There's a fly ball in the air to left field. A long run for Veal. He dives and can't make the catch. It is a fair ball. In to score is Turner. Mosini goes to third. And Garber into second base with an RBI double of his own. Yeah, it's a 5-1 Oaks lead.
Back-to-back doubles there from the Saints. Now have their first run of the game, and it was a great job by Veal to get over there. He just couldn't make the grab, and I'm interested to see where that ball would have placed had he not made the play. I'm curious if it almost would have gone foul.
Well, if the call was fair, one would assume it hit his glove in fair territory. So, yeah, because if it hits his glove in foul territory and goes foul, it's foul. There's a strike on the inside corner. But if it hits his glove in foul territory and lands on the ground fair, that would be a fair ball.
Yeah.
No balls and 1 strike to Joey Milto, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. And again, it's second and third with 1 out. A 4-run lead still for the Oaks. The 0-1. Milto went around, so he's behind 0-2.
Still an opportunity for the Saints to add to this, or chop away at this lead that the Oaks have.
Mosini, a very fast runner at third base. No balls and 2 strikes. Villa delivers. Milto went around and he goes down on 3 pitches. So a big second out for the Oaks. It's now second and third, 2 outs.
Yeah, that was much needed right there. Now kind of limits the ability that Lane Hayworth has to do to put the ball into play.
Brings up Lane Hayworth for the Saints. 0 for 1 with a walk. He reached on an error his last time up. Off speed, drops in there for a strike, 0-1. And for Damon Villa, just the 2nd run he has allowed this summer. Second and third with 2 outs. Mosini and Garber, the runners. On deck is Trotter Enright. The 0-1. That one is fouled away. 0-2.
Lane Hayworth was a decorated high school player. He was a 3-time second-team all-district selection for his high school, Hebron High School. Also was the program's MVP in 2022 and Golden Glove recipient in 2021. Also a football star as well.
No balls and 2 strikes. 2 on with 2 outs. 0-2, a swing and a miss. So on 6 straight pitches, back-to-back strikeouts, a couple of 3-pitch strikeouts, we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 5-1 Oaks. Stay tuned. 5-1 Oaks as we now enter the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Brady Hewitt leading things off for the Oaks. He was a strikeout victim his first time up as Chris Hernandez-Videz enters his 2nd inning of work. He allowed 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They were unearned though. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, the first run came as a result of an error by Mosini in left, and then Galloway followed with an RBI double. And then scored on a double play. The 0-1 is slapped foul to the right side. No balls and 2 strikes. Action in both bullpens as it stands right now. And the 0-2 to Hewitt. Misses upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Isaac Veal waits on deck for the Oaks. Both Hewitt and Veal were strikeout victims their first time up. 1-2. Line drive, caught by Jax Ryan as he leaps up and makes the catch. What a beautiful play by Ryan.
Yeah, he had to go upstairs, the top floor, to grab that one. That was an impressive leap right there in third base by Jax Ryan. And that save what potentially could have been a double, just knowing the type of speed Hewitt has.
Yeah, and you know, Jax Ryan, he's not exactly the tallest guy in the world, but just a great leap as he covered a lot of height to catch that, as that one misses outside. 1-0. Yeah, big difference certainly between a runner at second, nobody out, and nobody on him, 1 out. And I mean, that goes without saying. 1-0. Veal looks at a strike. Fastball that catches the inside part. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch on the way. High fastball upstairs, 2-0. Or 2-1, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, we saw in the game yesterday a chopper that went right towards Ryan, and talked about it. He took a step forward instead of a step back. And
that's right.
Kind of cost him an error to advance runners. As
there's a fly ball to left field. Keon Mosini is there to make the catch. 2 outs.
So he learned his lesson, and Ryan stayed put, and regardless still had to get up and get that, and he did just so.
That'll bring up Henry Borjas for the Oaks. He flew out to center field his first time up. Henry Borjas, the younger brother of Johnny Borjas, recent graduate of Cal Lutheran, who was a wide receiver for the Kingsman football team. As there's a fastball upstairs, 1-0.
Yeah, Borjas himself played football in high school as well. He was also a receiver.
Must run in the family. 1-0. There's a fastball that catches the upper part of the strike zone. It's now 1-1.
Yeah, with his speed, he was probably a nasty slot receiver. I already see it.
1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is tipped into the glove of Johnny Garber. It's 1-2 on Henry Borjas.
This bottom of the order has yet to record a hit between Hewitt, Veal, and Borjas.
1-2 on the way. Fouled away. Still 1-2 on Borjas. Chris Hernandez-Videz in his 2nd inning of work, like I mentioned. Tommy Kendlinger waits on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Fastball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 to Borjas. Chopped foul right off his foot.
And Borjas looking for his 2nd hit of the season here.
He's definitely got the quick hands and enough, you know, contact strength at the plate to hit his way on. 2-2. Popped back foul. Will it stay in the field? Not quite. Looked like it hit right off the top of the short wall right behind the screen, which would be pretty impressive, actually, because that's a very tight space.
I was going to say, that's the first time we've seen a foul ball that has ended up in the backside of home plate actually end up in kind of the stands here in George Sparky Anderson Field. We'd seen him hit the roof a few times, but yeah, like you said, it's a small, width that you really have to deal with. And
2-2 misses outside. The count runs full to Henry Borjas.
Yeah, a few of the fans down in the Saints section had to get out of the way of that. As
3-2. That looked like it hit off. Oh, it got his hand, so Borjas is at first, and he represents the second Oak to get hit by a pitch today. And that brings up Tommy Kenlinger.
Yeah, Kenlinger 0 for 2 on the day, but certainly someone that has the ability to get a ball in play. He's second on the Oaks this season with 9 hits.
So there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. There's a fastball outside, 1-0. Kenlinger 0 for 2 on the day so far with a couple of ground outs.
And Boros on the bases can be dangerous. He has 1 stolen base.
Fastball high and outside, 2-0. Zach Mora waits on deck. Oaks with a 5-1 lead. Would love to expand on that. 2-0 to Kenlinger. Pitch is upstairs. It's 3-0. Yeah, Borjas, to your point, a very, very fast runner. 3-0 to Kenlinger with 2 outs. That hits the outside corner for a strike, 3-1.
Good framing job right there by Garber to pull it into the strike zone.
3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 4th, hitters count. 3-1 is skied in the air to right center field. Rather shallow, and coming in to make the catch is Lane Hayworth. So the Oaks get a hit batter, but it's still 5-1 as we head to the 5th inning. Stay tuned. We enter the 5th inning, the Oaks with a new pitcher as Via's day is done. Winston Peterson making his 3rd pitching appearance this season. Gets ready to face Trotter Enright. Winston Peterson was last seen on June 20th in the Oaks' road game against the Orange County Riptide. It was a 14-3 loss for the Oaks. He did pitch 2 shutout innings, 2 hitless innings, allowed just 2 walks, struck out 5. As Enright takes a strike on the upper part of the zone. And the Saints chasing 4 runs still here at George Sparky Anderson Field. 0-1. There's a strike. Catches the middle part of the plate. Nice slider there from Winston Peterson.
Yeah, he has 7 strikeouts already on the season, which is more than he had all last year with Pepperdine in 2025 in the 13 appearances that he made.
0-2 on the way. Misses upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Trotter Enright, who is hitless so far on the day. 0 for 1. He has been hit by a pitch. 1-2 misses upstairs. 2 and 2. The Oaks looking to expand their winning streak to 2 games as they have a commanding 4-run lead over the Saints. 2-2 on the way. High and inside, it's a 3-2 count on Enright, so we go from an 0-2 to a full count on Trotter Enright. Saw him make a terrific play at shortstop earlier in this game as he ranged over to his left up the middle. Threw a 1-hop dart to Jack Little at first base, 3-2. Fouled away, it's still a full count on Enright.
And I'll tell you what, the Saints dugout is continuing the antics that we saw last night. It was mainly in the 9th inning when Regan Gale was on the mound, but they're continuing here with every pitch that Peterson has thrown thus far this inning.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for the Oaks. Actually, 3 straight strikeouts as Peterson picks up his first of the day.
And that's the best way to deal with hecklers. You strike them out.
It's all in your pitching. Yeah, it was certainly a loud 9th inning at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field last night, as it was, as you said, Regan Gale, who allowed 2 walks after 1 out. And it really seemed like the Saints were getting into his head as you saw Galloway go out to talk to him from behind the plate and just say, you know, hey, like, you got this. You know, we're up by 3 runs, and you just gotta get these final outs, and that's what he did. He buckled down after the 2 walks, was able to block out the noise in the end, and get the save for the Oaks to seal the deal for the 4-1 win, as it's 2-0 on Jack Little. Winston Peterson pitching in his 3rd game. (2-0) is a strike on the outer part of the plate. 2-1 on Jack Little. Little today 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. 2 balls and 1 strike. Peterson delivers. Chopper up the middle. Jax Jimenez picks it up, cuts it off from going up the middle, but that's about all he does. So it's an infield single for Jack Little.
Yeah, smart play by Jimenez not to force the throw there and just allow the single right there. We saw when he was in second base the first time on Sunday, last Sunday I should say, you know, he tried to take those throws maybe when he shouldn't have, and it ended up costing a base or 2 for the Oaks. So right there, a smart decision, but good piece of hitting to get the single for Jack Little, his first hit of the day.
Brings up Jacob Freer now, who's hitless himself. He fouls that one back. No balls and 1 strike. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up and then struck out in the 3rd inning. Jack Little, the runner at first, has good speed. We've seen him in center field as well. No balls and 1 strike. Peterson deals. It gets past Galloway, low and inside. And Jack Little will head to second. Now he's going to third. He got a late break, but he's safe. Just ahead of the tag. Well, nice late read there from Jack Little, and he may have caught Galloway off guard as well. He ends up taking 2 bases on a wild pitch.
Usually we see guys kind of just take it off after they get to the second base, but Little wants more. He understands that the Saints, trailing by 4 runs, need to start picking up on offense, so big play.
That's in the dirt right behind Galloway, and Little will trot to the plate. So Jack Little takes 3 bases on 2 wild pitches. And the Saints now within 3. It's 5-2 Oaks. We'll see if that turns out to be costly for the Oaks. It's 2-1 now. On Jacob Freer. 2-1 on the way. A swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Peterson has a chance to just put that run behind him and come back here to retire Freer. As he issues one in the dirt, it's now a full count on Jacob Freer with 1 out. Some of the pressure is off of Freer, though, as he doesn't have anyone on base to drive home. Three-two on the way. Misses upstairs for a 1-out walk. So Winston Peterson allowed the infield single to Little. He came home pretty much from first base in 1 at-bat. And so now Freer with a 1-out walk.
Yeah, with just 1 out, the Saints have slowly began to chip away at this 5-0 lead that is now only 5-2 for the Oaks. Back-to-back innings now where they've scored a run, and they have some guys coming up that have already provided some of the damage, so they're going to look to add to that here in the 5th inning.
That one misses upstairs. 1-0 the count now on Jax Ryan, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. The Saints, they've got a chance still. You know, it's still rather early. Haven't quite reached the halfway mark in this game. Right side, that's foul. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count on Jax Ryan. Ryan yesterday went 0 for 3 with a walk. Jacob Freer, the runner at first with 1 out, the 2-1. A swing and a miss. It's now a 2-2 count on Jax Ryan. Beautiful day here in Thousand Oaks, here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Blue sky, clear mountains beyond the outfield. 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses a little bit outside. It's now a full count on Ryan. One gone here in the 5th inning. It is a 2-2 count. Beg your pardon. Check at first. Freer gets back.
It's now Tyler Hawley at first base.
Pitch on the way, a swing and a miss. So Winston Peterson, his second strikeout. For the second out, yeah, Zach Mora has moved from short to third, and Ethan Gonzalez is now at short. Brings up Cody Turner now for the Saints. He is still 0 for 0 with 2 walks. Chops the first pitch he sees to second. Jimenez throws to first. And the throw pulls Hawley off the bag, and he couldn't get back to tag Turner in time. So that would be an error on Jax Jimenez.
Yeah, and that was what we call sloppy defense right there from the Oaks. They kind of just thought they had that one in the bag, and Jimenez throws sort of soft and just not on target and forces Hawley to come off the bag, and eventually leads to Turner being able to get the first safely.
I think he rushed himself at the last second there, something I have experience with as a former second baseman. Brings up Keon Mosini. So Freer and Turner, the runners. And Turner has reached all 3 times so far. His first pitch is low for a ball. Saints now have the tying run at the plate. The 1-0 to Mosini. Peterson delivers, and there's a shot right back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Freer will come to the plate. Turner will stop at second. It's a 2-run ball game on an RBI single by Keon Mosini, his second hit of the game.
Yeah, Mosini's done a good job today, and he continues with, like you said, his second hit, but could have been more right there. As Moore, the throw into third base was off target, and Moore had to make a play to be able to save it. So just keeps Turner at third base. But in this inning and the last, the Saints have now slowly chipped away at the Oaks lead, and now it's just a 2-run ball game.
Now the Saints have the go-ahead run at the plate. The tying run is Mosini at first. Johnny Garber is the batter. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Garber with a single could make this a 1-run game. With 1 swing, he could also tie it or even give the Saints the lead. The 0-1. Chopper on the infield. Gonzalez comes in, throws to first in time. So the Saints end up scoring a couple of runs, one of them unearned. It's 5-3 Oaks as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned.
Zach Mora.
Here we are now in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're at about the halfway point in this ball game. The Oaks with a 5-3 lead as Zach Mora steps to the plate for the Oaks. He is 0 for 2 on the day. He reached on an error by Mosini his last time up. So he steps in here against Chris Hernandez-Vides. He check swings the first pitch he sees foul. 0-1. Well, just last night, the Oaks having played at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, of course named after Brooklyn Dodgers legend, first colored Major League Baseball player, Jackie Robinson, who grew up in Pasadena and attended Pasadena Junior College, as it was named at the time. Someone misses outside. It's now Pasadena City College. And Jackie Robinson, of course, went on to play at UCLA and UCLA's baseball field, Jackie Robinson Stadium on Constitution Avenue, as that one is chopped foul to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he was a player and honestly an activist who didn't just break the barrier in baseball, but truly created the integration of black and brown players across American professional sports, and especially during that era in 1947 where the civil rights was just beginning. You had the Jim Crow era, and
skied in the air to center field, rather shallow, and it will be caught by the shortstop, Trotter Enright, for the first out. Yeah, and in terms of the facility itself, it was shortly after Franklin D. Roosevelt's 1933 election. His Works Progress Administration put citizens of Pasadena to work on park facility projects as well as control and utility. And Brookside Park, was set for a spring training camp on the site, as there's a strike. Hits the lower part of the strike zone, 0-1.
yeah, it was used by the Cubs first, and then the White Sox infamously used it, where they did a famous photo shoot with Marilyn Monroe back in 1933.
No balls and 1 strike, the count on Galloway. Chopper to first. Jack Little takes it to the bag himself, 2 outs.
It's actually learned, Sammy, that Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee star player at the time, actually saw that was the first time he learned of Marilyn Monroe in those photos. Eventually the two would marry. It was the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce before we had internet.
That is correct, yeah.
Now a mound visit here from Aaron Traylor, the pitching coach for the Saints, as he goes out to talk to Chris Hernandez-Vides.
It looks like we are going to have a pitching change here, so we will step aside and be right back. Saints have brought in a new pitcher. Daniel Tovar comes in for the Saints. Tovar making his 4th pitching appearance of the season. He's got a 4.5 ERA, has struck out 5 batters, has pitched in exactly 4 innings this season, has allowed 5 hits. He was last seen on June 19th at San Luis Obispo against the Blues in what was a 3-0 loss for the Saints, and Tyler Hawley gets hit by that one. So 1 pitch in, and Tovar has hit a man.
Yeah, he's a senior at Nevada University where he made seven appearances, posted a 9.35 ERA with just 1 loss, 0 wins.
Brings up Ethan Gonzalez now with Tyler Hawley at first. Oaks have a 2-run lead in the 5th inning. There's a strike. That had some good velocity. 86 over the top. 0-1. Jax Jimenez waits on deck for the Oaks as Oaks have got Hawley at first with 2 down. Pitch on the way. Gonzalez sure went around. It's an 0-2 count now as Tovar looks to make quick work of the Oaks here in the 5th inning.
Gonzalez was 1 for 4 yesterday in the Oaks win. Just 1 single.
0-2 is chopped high to short. Trotter Enright tosses with his glove to second for the inning-ending fielder's choice. And we now head to the 6th inning, 5-3 Oaks. Here we are now in the 6th inning, and on to pitch for the Conejo Oaks is Brady Hewitt, who was the designated hitter to begin with in today's game, but he will come on in relief of Winston Peterson here in the 6th inning. Now Hewitt, position player, pitching here in the 6th. Interesting decision making here by David Solis. A 2-run lead that the Oaks have in the 6th inning. First pitch is a strike on the upper part of the zone. The batter for the Saints is Joey Milto.
And in fact, Hewitt actually did pitch his senior year at Royal High School. He made 10 appearances.
Check swing, and Milto did not go around, so
It is certainly the first time we are seen him on the mound for the Oaks, but he posted a .78 ERA with 14 strikeouts and only 6 walks, as well as just 3 hits and 2 runs allowed.
1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I don't know if this is Coach David Solis's idea, but I do think it's ironic that the Oaks now have their DH pitching today after that whole situation yesterday.
Yeah, pretty ironic. There's a line drive over the head of Gonzalez at short. So Joey Milto is on with a leadoff single. So Milto, who has struck out twice today, gets on to start the 6th. And the Saints, they're still within comeback range. It's only a 2-run game and still anybody's game.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the Oaks have been on both the winning and losing side of comebacks in just the last week.
The batter is Lane Hayworth. There goes Milto. Pitches high, throw down to second, not in time. Joey Milto with a stolen base.
It's great base running right there from Milto. And now it's the fourth stolen base we have seen today from the Saints. So they've come out aggressive on the bags and just continuing what they've done all season. They've entered this game with 37 stolen bases. You can add 4 more to that.
And for Milto, that's his 3rd stolen base this summer, as that one misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Lane Hayworth, and that could be huge here, because now a single to the outfield could make this a 1-run game, and something that the Saints, they just look to continue to produce some damage against the Oaks. Pitch from Hewitt. Takes upstairs for a ball.
Yeah, they're probably some of the more aggressive base runners we see in this California Collegiate League South Division. I mean, you just see the leadoff that pretty much all the Saints base runners get, and they're almost halfway to the next base before the first pitch.
3-0 to Hayworth. On the inside corner for a strike. 89 on the gun from Brady Hewitt. I mean, he's certainly got that shortstop arm, and it's not very hard for that to translate to your arm as a pitcher. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Lane Hayworth. Hewitt deals. Chopped foul to the right side. It's now a full count.
Yeah, and this top of the order that's coming up next with Trotter Enright and Jack Little, those are also 2 guys that can explode off the bat. So for the Oaks, you got to play some good baseball right here defensively.
A full count with a runner at second and nobody out. Three-two to Hayworth. Misses a little bit upstairs for ball 4. So Hayworth makes Hewitt throw a lot of pitches and eases his way to first. It's now runners at first and second and nobody out. And the batter is Trotter Enright, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He was hit his first time up. He's got a fly out and a strikeout to go along with that. 2-run ball game here in the 6th.
Tied for first on the team with 12 RBIs.
First pitch. Enright looks at a fastball outside. 1-0.
Now you got 2 guys on bases, and Lane Hayworth and Joey Milto that have plenty of speed to steal bases. I mean, Hayworth already with 2 stolen bases today.
1-0. Grounded to the right side. Jimenez moves over and gets the out at first. Enright does his job, though. He moves the runners over, and now a base hit to the outfield could tie it.
Yeah, these past 3 innings, it's just been little moments for the Saints that have now worked them to this moment where they're, yeah, like you said, Sammy, just a swing of the bat away from tying or even taking this lead here for the first time today, and they have slowly chipped away as the Oaks have not found offense in the last 2 innings.
Here is Jack Little, runners at second and third with 1 out. Looks at an off-speed strike on the outside corner. Little has not yet gone deep this season. What a time this would be for him to do so.
He does have 4 doubles, so he is someone that, while he hasn't gotten the long ball yet, he can certainly still provide an impact with.
The 0-1. Right side, that's a base hit to right field. In to score is Milto. Hayworth right behind him, and this game is tied. Jack Little has tied this game at 5 with a 2 RBI single to right field, and just like that, the Saints, who were down 5-0, have now tied this game.
Yeah, and the Saints have completely come alive here in the past 3 innings. They started this game with the first 3 innings not even getting a single hit, and now they have 5 to their name here in the 6th inning, and it's just been singles and doubles that have landed them here with a tie ball game now at 5-5.
First pitch is a strike to Jacob Freer, and with now this game tied and both starters having been out for a while, neither starter is the pitcher of record, as it's an 0-1 count on Jacob Freer with Jack Little at first. He comes through big time for the Saints. Freer with a ground ball, base hit to right field. Little holds at second, and it's now first and second with 1 out, and now a base hit to the outfield could give the Saints the lead.
Yeah, almost an identical at-bat that we saw right there from Freer that we saw from Little, as he just grounds it into right field, and the Saints are warming up here in the 6th inning.
The batter is now Jax Ryan. A chance to give the Saints the lead. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Looked like a slider there from Hewitt. So Hewitt, he's allowed a couple of runs as the Oaks' 5-run lead is gone. Little at second, Freer at first with 1 out. The 0-1. Ryan gets a piece of that one. Hits it into the dirt. It's now an 0-2 count.
And Jack Little over there on second base has stolen 4 out of the 5 stolen bases that he's attempted this season.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on with 1 out. Oh, 2 to Ryan. The runners go. And there's no throw. The pitch was inside. So it's a double steal for the Saints. And now a base hit to the outfield could give the Saints a 2-run lead. So Jack Little is at third, and Jacob Freer is at second, and looked like they picked the perfect pitch to steal on there. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. 1-2 on the way. Ryan looks at strike 3 on the upper part of the strike zone. 2 gone here in the 6th. That'll bring up Cody Turner. So still Little at third and Freer at second. Turner with a chance to give the Saints the lead. He reached on an error his last time up. He is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. First pitch on the inside corner, 0-1. We've yet to really see Turner base hit his way on. The 0-1. In the dirt for a ball. 1-1. The Oaks have got Luke Cesares in the bullpen. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on and 2 outs. 1-1 on the way. Turner looks at a fastball high and outside. 2-1. Big spot here for Turner and the Saints. They've got a chance to expand on the damage. 2-1. That misses way high. It's 3-1. Cody Turner has got a big hitter's count here. A walk here would load the bases with 2 outs. Not something that the Oaks particularly want to see, although it would set up an inning-ending double play scenario, or a force play scenario, I should say. There's 2 outs, so 3-1. And for the 3rd time today, Cody Turner has drawn ball 4, and that will load the bases. Well, the Oaks continue to be in trouble, and out to the mound goes Scott Rudinsky, the pitching coach. And if anybody knows how to navigate a situation like this, or at least has experience with it, it is Scott Rudinsky, former Major League ball player drafted by the White Sox in the early 90s. Just going out to give a little oomph to Brady Hewitt. But if the Saints take the lead here, I would sense that would be the end of the day on the mound for Hewitt.
I think it's safe to say that after already 2 runs given up here so far.
Kian Mosini, the 8th man to bat in this inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Little, Freer, and Turner the runners. Fastball, strike, catches the inner part of the plate, 0-1, and it's just what Hewitt needs. That's a start for him in this jam. The game is still tied at 5. Those 2 tying runs have been scored this inning. The 0-1. Rossini looks at a strike on the outside corner. It's now 0-2. Rossini, he delivered an RBI single his last time up. That followed the error from Jimenez at second, which may prove to be costly. The 0-2. Misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rossini.
That was good reach right there by Galloway to get that wild pitch right there from Hewitt. Could have ended up as another run for the Saints.
Also a good take by Rossini there. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. Rossini slaps it foul right against the Oaks dugout. Jack Little at third, Jacob Freer at second, and Cody Turner at first. All with 2 outs. Big spot for the Oaks. Pressure is on both Hewitt and Rossini. 1-2. Chopped foul again, so Rossini is making Hewitt work. It's 5 pitches in this at-bat so far. One ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss! What a job by Brady Hewitt. Gave up the lead, but came all the way back as he strikes out 2 batters this inning. Saints have tied it, though, at 5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Jax Jimenez will lead things off for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Daniel Tovar enters his 2nd inning of work. Pitched a scoreless 5th inning. Or finished off the job for Chris Hernandez-Vides. First pitch on the way to Jimenez. Fastball hits the upper part of the strike zone. 0-1. Well, the Saints tied the game in the top of the 6th inning. It was on a hit by pitch. Or, I beg your pardon, it was on a single, a walk, and then ultimately a 2 RBI single by Jack Little to right field as that one is fouled off to the left side. 0-2 the count to Jimenez. He is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single and a pop out. As the Oaks look to regain the lead against the Saints. 0-2 on the way. There's a fly ball high and deep to right field. Back at the wall. It is way out of here. Jax Jimenez with one swing of the bat has given the Oaks the lead. It is 6-5 Conejo here in Thousand Oaks.
That is big time from Jax Jimenez as that goes 409 past the right field fence with an exit speed of 101 miles per hour. And that was much needed after what we had just seen in the last 3 innings for the Saints as they were storming back and tied it. But Jax Jimenez coming up big time.
Unbelievable shot by Jax Jimenez. His first home run of the summer as there's a strike to Brady Hewitt, who is returned now to the DH spot after taking over on the mound for an inning. Fastball way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I mean, I'm still like shell-shocked by how far that ball was crushed. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brady Hewitt. Tovar deals, it misses inside for ball 2. Boy, Jax Jimenez comes through big time for the Conejo Oaks. 1-1 on the way. Misses upstairs, 2-1. Now on Jimenez. Two balls and 1 strike. Tovar looks to rebound. Swinging a foul tip right into the glove of Johnny Garber. It's now a 2-2 count on Brady Hewitt. That one is whacked foul to the left side. So still a 2-2 count. Yeah, Jax Jimenez, saw him get off to a slowish start to the season. So that one is popped up foul to the left side. Catch is made for the first out. He went hitless his first 3 games. Starting off the season 0 for 12. Picked up his first hit against the Riptide on June 20th and gets the solo bomb here. Brings up now Isaac Veal for the Conejo Oaks. That one is foul tip right into the glove of Johnny Garber. 0-1.
Yeah, Jimenez was 0 for 9 in his last 9 at-bats, and he's really stepped up today for the Oaks in a big way.
There's a strike. That catches the corner. 0-2.
3 RBIs on the day.
Oh, 2. It misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Jimenez, he hit the RBI single his first time up in the first inning on that bloop shot to short left field that just found a good spot. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner, so Veal goes down for the second time today. 2 outs.
But that's the exact response that the Oaks needed right there. After they were scoreless in the 2 innings before the 6th inning, and the Saints had crawled their way back to tie the ball game after back-to-back 2-run innings and a 1 run in the 4th for the Saints. That was much needed for the Oaks.
Fastball strike on the inside corner to Henry Borjas, who is 0 for 1 on the day. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. There's a strike on the outer part of the plate. 0-2. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-2 from Tovar. Chopped foul right into the Oaks dugout. Nice play over there by Cody Carson. So still an 0-2 count on Henry Borjas. 2 outs in the 6th. 6-5 Oaks. Tovar delivers. Misses outside. Borjas able to check his swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Kendlinger waits on deck. 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Well, back-to-back strikeouts looking. Ends the 6th inning, but Jax Jimenez with the no-doubt home run to right field has made it a 6-5 game. We're 2/3 of the way done with this game. We'll be right back. Here we are now in the 7th inning. It's 6-5 Oaks thanks to a no-doubt home run to right field by Jax Jimenez. And now taking over on the mound for the Oaks is Luke Cesares. Cesares making his 4th pitching appearance this summer. He was last seen on June 20th at Orange County against the Riptide. And he gets ready to face Johnny Garber to begin the 7th inning. First pitch misses down and in for a ball. 91 on the gun there from Luke Cesares. Cesares with an 8.3 ERA so far has struck out 3 batters, has walked 3, and has allowed 5 hits. There's a strike. In the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Luke Cesares pitched his freshman year at LA Valley College. Teammates with Spencer Kratt. 1-1. Fastball inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 on the way to Garber. Cesares deals. Check swing, and he did not go around, so it's a 3-1 count on Garber, and there is, still action in the Saints bullpen, as the Oaks have been doing a good job in really getting into their staff. The 3-1. Chopper to short. Ethan Gonzalez throws to first to get the out. Well, that'll bring up Joey Milto. Milto getting his 4th plate appearance here. He's 1 for 3 with a single, and turned out to be a big hit his last time up, as the Saints had tied the game in the top of the 6th inning and then quickly gave up the lead again. First pitch. Milto fouls that one off, 0-1.
Yeah, but the Saints are not going to go away. I mean, even after a home run right there, it's easy to forget that the Saints just in the past 3 innings have scored 5 total runs after being held scoreless and 0 hits in those first 3 innings.
0-1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count to Joey Milto with 1 out here in the 7th inning. A 1-1 count on Joey Milto. Cesares delivers. That one is fouled straight back. 1-2. It's been a very tight ball game, as we're definitely seeing the Saints offense. It has been a lot more alive than we saw in last night's game. Obviously, by virtue of the fact that they've scored a lot more runs, but they've capitalized on opportunities a lot more as well. As there's a fastball that misses outside, the count even at 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Cesares delivers. Fastball outside. It's a full count now. Well, Milto, we saw him get on and, quickly steal second. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Milto goes after the high cheese and goes down swinging. 2 outs. Brings up Lane Hayworth, the center fielder for the Saints. He has walked twice on the day. He's reached 3 times. He's still hitless, though. And the Saints taking an offensive timeout. So Hayworth will step back in there. He drew a walk his last time up and ended up scoring on a 2-run single by Jack Little. So Luke Cesares, he has retired the first 2 batters he has faced. Looks to make this a 1-2-3 inning. That one is fouled away, 0-1. We are in the top of the 7th inning. About 2.5 innings left to play after this, if there is a bottom of the 9th inning, I should say. No balls and 1 strike. Misses low and away, 1-1. Trotter and right weights on deck for the Saints, chasing just 1 run. One. There's a fastball strike right on the inside corner. It's 1-2 on Lane Hayworth.
Hayworth still looking for his first hit today.
2 outs here in the 7th. 1-2 is popped up onto the outfield grass, and the second baseman, Jimenez, makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Luke Cesares. Time to stretch here at George Sparky Anderson as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-5 Oaks when we return. Oaks have the top of the order due up with Tommy Kendlinger leading things off in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Oaks lead 6-5 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. Kendlinger lays down a bunt. It is a beauty, and he is safe at first with a bunt single to start the bottom of the 7th inning. That is the second bunt single we have seen today.
And man, he turned on the wheels. As soon as he knew that bunt was going to be fair, he shot out of a cannon to get to first base, and a leadoff single now puts Mora at the plate.
Zach Mora hitless on the day so far. He is due for something. So Kendlinger is at first with nobody out. Takes a big lead, and Mora takes a strike on the upper part of the zone. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Kendlinger is 1 for 3 on stolen bases so far this year.
And the 0-1, there goes Kendlinger. Swing and a miss, throw down to second, not nearly in time. Kendlinger with his second stolen base of the season.
Yeah, Garber's throw just veered off to the left and allowed Kendlinger to slide in safely. It also took the foot of Freer off the bag.
It's an 0-2 count on Zach Mora. Kendlinger, the runner at second. 0-2. Swing and a miss, so Mora goes down via way of the K. Back-to-back, sword swings there for Mora on pitches that just dropped below.
Yeah, and he was upset about that one after he swung at that. But brings up Jacob Galloway, who already had a home run yesterday.
We'll have a visit here for the Saints as out to the mound goes the Saints pitching coach, Aaron Traylor. It's a time for Daniel Tavar. He's in his third inning of work here. It's for him to buckle down and, you know, keep the Oaks at bay. He did allow the home run to Jax Jimenez, but it's a time for him to put that behind him. He'll have to face Jacob Galloway with Kenlinger, a very fast runner at second base with one out.
Galloway with 3 RBIs yesterday. He already has 1 today.
One out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Galloway. Misses outside, and Kenlinger will hold his place. He went almost about halfway down the line to third, but ended up holding his place. A little too much hesitation there as the ball hopped a couple steps away from Johnny Garber, but not quite far enough for Kenlinger to advance. So it's a 1-0 count on Jacob Galloway. 1-0 is ripped foul right into the Saints dugout. One ball and one strike. Kenlinger, the runner at second. There's one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. One on the way. Low and outside, 2-1. Kenlinger really dancing there at second base, trying to get into the head of Daniel Tavar. One out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 to Galloway. Misses outside. It's now 3-1. A hitter's count on Jacob Galloway. Tyler Hawley waits on deck for the Oaks. One gone here in the 7th. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4, a 1-out walk to Galloway. So that'll put 2 runners on with 1 out. And up to the plate comes Tyler Hawley. Hawley batting in a big spot here. The Oaks are ahead by 1. First and second with 1 out.
Yeah, real opportunity to add insurance to only a 1-run lead, and we know the type of the offense that the Saints have showed recently, and the Oaks certainly want to add more to this lead.
Misses low and away for a ball. Hawley ahead, 1-0. Well, Kenlinger at second, and Galloway at first. He's got the Texas A&M colors on that hand protector on his right hand. One 1-0 to Hawley. Misses upstairs. It's 2-0. We've yet to see Hawley drive the ball out of the park this season, but anything could change at any moment, as we saw last inning. One. That hits the inside corner. It's now 1-2 on Hawley.
Hawley leads the team with 12 RBIs.
Kenlinger at second, Galloway at first with 1 out. 1-2. Just a little outside. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Holly. Foul back. Count is full. A big spot here for Holly. A 3-2 count. Kendlinger and Galloway the runners. Ethan Gonzalez waits on deck. 3-2 with 1 out. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Daniel Tovar. 2 down.
Yeah, that was much needed after the walk he allowed to Galloway, and now Gonzalez only limited in his capabilities at the plate.
Well, Ethan Gonzalez comes back up to the plate. Bounced into the inning-ending fielder's choice his last time up as he takes Wilkes' spot in the lineup. He lines a base hit to right field, coming in to score easily as Kendlinger. Milto kicks it in right field. Galloway heading to third. He'll be waved home, and he will be safe ahead of the tag. And Ethan Gonzalez has driven home a pair. And he goes all the way to third. It's 8-5 Oaks.
That now extends Gonzalez's hitting streak to 6 games. And talk about risky base running. We've already seen it once from Galloway, and he does it a second time. This time to get this 8th run of the game for the Oaks. And that was a bang-bang play right there as the ball had just come in from infield. And a beautiful slide there to get the 8th run as the Oaks have now added insurance to their lead.
Brings up Jax Jimenez, who hit the long ball his last time up way over the right field fence. First pitch. Hits the inside corner, 0-1. Well, the home run that Jimenez hit was projected at 409 feet, although it did hit off of that protective screen, which, you know, that's where the track measured the ball to. Fouled away. It's 0-2 now on Jax Jimenez. He does have a pair of RBIs on the day. Gonzalez at third with 2 outs. 0-2. Chop to the right side, and it's kicked by Freer into right field. And it's 9-5 Oaks. Well, that ball just hit right off the tip of the glove of Freer, and he just could not come up with it. So another error by the Saints.
Jimenez finding all different ways to get on base today. This way via an error, but the Oaks continue to add more to this lead, now up 9-5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Brady Hewitt is now the batter. He looks at a strike off speed from Tovar, and Tovar has really had to labor through this 7th inning. Saints have now made 2 errors on defense. There goes Jimenez. Throw down to second, not in time.
Just pure speed from Jimenez. The moment he got out of his break to go off to second base, you could just tell he was going to slide in safely. And it's a good attempt from Garber to Freer, but no match for Jimenez's speed.
That's his 2nd stolen base this summer.
Now 2 for 2.
1-1 to Hewitt. That misses inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count on Brady Hewitt. Hewitt hitless on the day so far. He's 0 for 3. The 2-1. In the air to right center field. And Lane Hayworth moves to his left and makes the catch. And this long 7th inning is over. It's 9-5 Oaks. We head to the 8th inning. Stay tuned. We now enter the 8th inning, and Luke Cesares enters his 2nd inning of work. He sent down the Saints 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th inning, as the Oaks now have a 4-run lead. It's 9-5 as they scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Saints made yet another error. So leading things off will be Trotter Enright, and he looks at a ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Enright is 0 for 3 on the day with a hit by pitch. Looks to get something started for the Saints. The 1-0. Chopper to first. Nice pick over there at first base by Tyler Hawley. 1 out.
Yeah, the Saints bats have re-come alive here in the 6th and 7th inning. Started off with the Jimenez home run, but then the 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning were big time to add insurance to what was a 1-run lead, now a 4-run lead here in the 8th inning.
Jack Little, the batter, he came through clutch. His last at bat, he had that 2 RBI single to right field that tied the game at the time at 5. That was back in the 6th inning. That was off of Brady Hewitt. But it only took an inning frame later for the Oaks to respond. As he looks at a ball downstairs, 1-0. Well, Jack Little, 2 for 4 on the day with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. As Luke Cesares has retired the first 4 he has faced, and he issues ball 2 in the dirt, 2-0.
Cesares was part of the 2024 team, won the championship here and for the Caneo Oaks. Played his high school ball at Sierra Canyon High School. Ranked the 50th right-hand pitcher in California.
2 balls and no strikes. Pitch on the way. It's down and in for ball 3. It's a 3-0 count on Jack Little.
And while it is a 9-5 lead, we've seen what the Barons were able to do on Sunday.
2-0. Looked like he was taking all the way there. A 3-1 now, the count on Jack Little. Wise take. Certainly advisable. The 3-1 to Little with 1 out. Down and in, ball 4. So a 1 out walk to Jack Little. Brings up Jacob Freer. He has a chance to provide some redemption after the error he made in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that gave the Oaks their 9th run.
Jack Little already with 1 stolen base added to his now season total of 5.
Does not have a very big lead at first, and Freer takes a strike over the plate, 0-1. Jacob Freer is 1 for 3 on the day with a hit and a walk. 0-1, a fastball hits the outside corner, 0-2. Cesares hit 90 there. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Cesares comes home. There's a fly ball in the air to left center field. Tommy Kendlinger makes the catch. 2 out. Luke Cesares pitching in an outstanding outing of his today for the Oaks. He gets ready to face Jax Ryan, the 3rd baseman for the Saints. Ryan hitless today so far, 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. He looks at a ball downstairs, 1-0. Little, the runner at first, has pretty good speed. Down 4 runs, not the best time to be antsy though, as there's a fly ball into foul territory, and it will drop foul. So it's a 1-1 count on Jax Ryan.
Yeah, Veal and Gonzalez made a good attempt to get all the way over there. Pretty much hit the fence that runs along the dugout side of the Oaks. It's come up short. 1-1.
There's a line drive, base hit to left field. So the Saints in some business here. They've got 2 runners on with 2 outs. And that brings up Cody Turner. Turner is 0 for 1 with 3 walks.
It's now Jax Ryan's first hit in the last 2 games versus the Oaks. Comes in a big time.
Well, Turner walked back in the 6th inning, and after the Saints had tied the game, they loaded the bases with 1 out, but failed to score as Brady Hewitt certainly got 2 big strikeouts that, or actually they loaded the bases with 2 outs, I beg your pardon, and then Hewitt got a huge strikeout to end the inning. So there's a swing by Turner for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Little at second, Jax Ryan at first. 1-1. Fastball hits the outside corner, 1-2. Two on with 2 outs. Turner with 1 swing could make this a 1-run game.
Go, baby, here we go.
1-2. Strike 3 called right on the inside corner. And the Saints are finished here in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 9-5 Oaks. We'll be back. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. A couple changes, one in an unconventional manner, but to begin with, Nolan McCracken is the new pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And right after the top of the 8th ended, following the strike 3 call on Cody Turner that appeared to be on the low inside part of the plate, Jack Little was arguing from second base and actually got tossed from this game. So now taking over at first base for him is Gannon Snyder.
Yeah, he might have been arguing the pitch right before that, which was called a strike, and according to our track man, it was pretty marginally outside of the strike zone. And seen it already a few times with this umpire today with strikes that probably should have been balls on the outside.
1-0 misses downstairs. It's 2-0 to Isaac Veal, who was 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. So when somebody is ejected from a game in college baseball, they have to head back to the bus if you're the visiting team. 2-0 misses downstairs. It's 3-0 on Isaac Veal.
That's the first player that, or manager in total, that we've seen thrown out, but this time it was a player.
3-0. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, 3-1.
Feels someone that's had some early season struggles at the plate. Just a batting average of 83.
Chopped foul to the left side.
Certainly has the speed, and he's a threat on the bases once he gets on, but it's for him really getting onto the bases. He's been walked 4 times.
3 balls and 2 strikes. We got a full count on Isaac Veal. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Nolan McCracken, one gone here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Henry Borjas for the Oaks. Now for Nolan McCracken, this is his 6th pitching appearance this summer and his 3rd appearance against the Oaks. As there's one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Borjas bunts it. It goes foul. Not a bad attempt there by Borjas, but ball sort of twisted backwards shortly after it dropped from his bat. So it's an 0-1 count.
Already seen 2 Oaks that have successfully landed a perfect bunt. Kennelinger and Holly both successful today.
No balls and 1 strike. 1 out. McCracken deals. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, as it stands right now, Daniel Tavar is the pitcher of record for the Saints. If this lead holds, he would get the loss. Cesares has pitched 2 shutout innings for the Oaks as Borjas takes one upstairs, 2-1. Tommy Kenlinger waits on deck. Two one, misses outside. It's 3-1 on Borjas. Oaks 3 defensive outs away from taking two in a row from the Saints. Chopper up the middle. Throw to first, not nearly in time, as Jacob Freer had to range to his right. And Borjas with his speed rather easily beat that one out, and that's just his 2nd hit of the summer. Brings up Tommy Kenlinger for the Oaks. He laid down a beautiful bunt single his last time up. So Borjas, the runner at first, he can run. First pitch is a fastball downstairs, 1-0. Well, Kenlinger 1 for 4 on the day. Single, a couple of ground outs, and a fly out. One-0. Fastball strike right over the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. As the sun starts to set here in Thousand Oaks. It's been a beautiful day of baseball today. There goes Borjas. Pitches downstairs, throw to second, not in time. Borjas slides in safely.
It's great base running there from Borjas, who now owns the 3rd steal of the day for the Oaks, his 2nd of the season.
So it's a 2-1 count on Tommy Kenlinger. Way outside, goes to the backstop, and Borjas will trot to third. It's now 3-1. Well, all Kenlinger would need to do to get Borjas home would get a fly ball deep enough. The infield has moved up for the Saints. Two one. Foul back. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Borjas, the runner at third, with 1 out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's a full count. There's a shot fair down the left field line. Borjas scores. Kendlinger on his way to second. He's got an RBI double. And it's now 10-5 Oaks as Tommy Kendlinger picks up his second hit of the day.
Now doubles the score of the Saints here as they now up 10-5. Good piece of hitting from Kendlinger, who now in his last 2 at-bats has got on base. And be careful, he is someone already with a stolen base today, so already seen the moves he's been able to bring when he is on the bags, bringing up Zach Mora.
Mora fouls that one straight back. 0-1, and yeah, Kendlinger with his speed. A ball hit to the outfield, placed well enough, can easily score him. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out. McCracken delivers. Misses in the dirt. It's a 1-1 count on Zach Mora. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Oaks have regained their 5-run lead. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-2. Jacob Galloway waits on deck. It's a 1-2 count on Mora. McCracken deals. There's a swing and a miss. So a much needed strikeout for Nolan McCracken. That's his second. And the second time in a row Zach Mora has gone down via way of the K, and that'll bring up Jacob Galloway. First pitch. There goes Kendlinger. The pitch goes behind. Kendlinger is going to come all the way around, throw to the plate, and he is out at the plate. Boy, ambitious base running by Tommy Kendlinger. He got a great jump, stole third easily, and then tried to come around third again as that ball went to the backstop, but he is gunned down. It's 10-5 Oaks. We head to the 9th. Oaks 3 outs away. We'll be back. Ninth inning, here we come, and Braden Lowe comes onto the mound in the ninth, and the elephant in the room, this is the first time that we've seen Braden Lowe since the 5-run comeback from the MLB Youth Academy Barons in Compton on Sunday, which all ended with Lowe allowing a 3-run bomb to walk it off to Tommy Gooden.
Yeah, It was a tough pill to swallow for the Yokes, but they were able to rebound yesterday and so far have shown great play today. Just need 3 more outs.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Keon Mosini down looking. 1 out. Yeah, this is definitely a chance for Lowe to totally put that game behind him, and I'm sure he already has. One out here in the 9th inning. Johnny Garber is the batter. He looks at ball 1 inside, 1-0.
I have to say, Johnny Garber going all old-fashioned. He has no gloves, no padding, bare hands and a bat.
There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Well, the Oaks, after today, they will be on the road for their 5th road game on Friday against the Santa Barbara Foresters as Garber lines a base hit to left field. So he's on with a 1-out single.
Yeah, after today, the Oaks will be on the road for 3 straight games. Foresters, like you said, Sammy, on Friday. Then they will, what is technically a home game, but they will be playing at Ventura County College.
That's Saturday's game.
Yeah, Saturday's game, where current skipper for the Oaks, Coach David Solis, is the head coach. And then Sunday, they will be back down in Orange County, facing off the Riptide.
There's a first pitch strike to Joey Milto, who is 1 for 4 on the day with 3 strikeouts. 2 of them are swinging. Garber, the runner at first. He's got a huge lead. Nobody's holding him on. As that one misses outside, 1-1. And, you know, when you have a 5-run lead, don't necessarily have an urgent need to do so. 1-1. Grounder to the right side. It gets past Jimenez into right field for a hit. Garber on his way to third. The throw to third is not quite in time. Very close play at third. And great base running by Johnny Garber to go from first to third, and just as great base running by Milto to go to second on the throw and head into scoring position.
Yeah, it was a good try from Borjas all the way in right field to get the ball even to third base to try to make it even a play, and Garber with great base running, but it was a bang play. I mean, ball was there a second earlier, he would have been out.
That brings up Lane Hayworth. Hayworth is 0 for 3 on the day so far. Saints with 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. Hayworth looks at a fastball outside, 1-0. Well, second game in a row where we've seen Braden Lowe get into trouble. Of course, we know what happened on Sunday, and Lowe definitely wants to put that behind him, and I'm sure he has.
If there's any part of the order as a Saints fan that you want to see coming up, it is this part of the order, the top of the order. Lane Hayworth at the plate right now, then Trotter Enright. Gannon Snyder obviously filling in the shoes of Jack Little, but those are the guys that have made some of the biggest plays thus far today.
2-0, misses outside, it's 3-0. A walk right here would load the bases and give Lowe even more trouble. .3-0. That hits the inside corner, 3-1. Well, Hayworth with a base hit could make this a 3-run game. And of course, with the long ball, could make this a 2-run game. That hits the outside corner for strike 2. It's now a full count on Hayworth, and some visible frustration on the face of Hayworth. And after we have already seen Jack Little get tossed. It's a full count on Hayworth with 1 out. 2nd and 3rd, 3-2. Outside, ball 4, and that'll load the bases. And that'll bring up Trotter and Wright.
It's almost a little eerily similar to what we saw on Sunday. Like Hayworth took himself out of the game.
I wonder what's going on here.
Yeah, it looks like a pinch runner may come on.
Oh, head coach Aaron Millam just got tossed. The second Saint we've seen get ejected. Well, there is certainly no shortage of tension here. Oh, now the home plate umpire has to separate him.
And I'm curious what exactly he's arguing. I mean,
So it looks like Hayworth had been ejected, because I wonder if this goes back to the facial frustration that Hayworth showed after the strike 2 call on him.
Oh, and I think Freer was also thrown out of the game.
Is that right?
He's exiting the dugout, and he's what I would assume walking back. He took himself. I didn't see an umpire exactly throw him out, and I mean we've now seen a few words, you know, in between innings between the umpires and Saints players, and now what is, you know, Saints skipper Aaron Millen. So I believe. Yeah, I would say Lane Hayworth was tossed from this game. He's no longer in the dugout, and he's not a part of this game anymore. So that's 2 players and 1 manager now thrown out of the game for the Saints. It's kind of an odd sequence of events, but we move on.
Yeah, what a weird 9th inning. Like, things are going right in the game for the Saints, but on the bench, not necessarily. Well, there's a strike to Trotter and Wright now. So now bases loaded and 1 out, and running at first base for Hayworth now is J.J. Kinnett. Misses high and inside for a ball.
I guess I'd understand if, you know, you get struck out in a game like this where you have runners on 2nd and 3rd. I mean, he was walked. I know not all the pitches were maybe called exactly correct, but so an interesting.
1-1, grounded to the left side. That is through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Veal kicks it in left. And in to score is Milto, so it's a 2-run single for Trotter and Wright that scores Garber and Milto.
And you know the Saints dugout is liking that one.
So it's now 10-7 Oaks. Boy, I got to be honest. I was even nervous to look down at that situation, and we're in a booth. So it's 10-7 Oaks after that 2-run single. And there's a strike on the outer part of the plate to Gannon Snyder, who took over at first base after Jack Little got ejected. First and second, 1 out, 3-run ball game. Misses outside.
Well, we saw a first ejection of the season here for the Oaks, or not the Oaks, just in a game that the Oaks are playing, and now it's 3 ejections total.
Go, Danny, right here, man. Come on.
1-1, swing and a miss. That was a filthy off-speeder from Braden Lowe, and that gets some nice noise.
Yeah, that was a good job to stay focused on the batter at hand. These base runners for the Saints are certainly trying to tease and try to dance with Lowe, but he is staying focused in the zone.
Misses outside. Oh! Well, Trotter Enright went too far, and he's going to get picked off at first base. Well, that's out number 2.
Yeah, the fans have really gotten into this.
Oh my God, it is brutal.
That was loud. That was louder than I think the home run for Jax Jimenez. They were. We've got a good matchup here. I mean, these two teams are fighting for second place in the South Division, so this is the type of atmosphere you expect here.
Swing and a miss, and the Conejo Oaks win 10-7 over the Arroyo Seco Saints as Braden Lowe closes it out. Boy, what a game here it was. You know, for the most part, it was a great game of baseball, certainly filled with a lot of tension in the last 2 innings. I mean, that was really unbelievable.
Yeah, lots of drama to end that game.
Well, the Oaks now advance to 10-5 in the season, and the Saints now 7-6 here in the CCL. And certainly a good win for the Oaks with 10 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors against the Saints. 7 runs and 10 hits and 2 errors. And we welcome you back up to our broadcast booth. Well, the Conejo Oaks, they've now won 2 games in a row, both against the Arroyo Seco Saints. And we saw the Saints' bats come a lot more alive than we saw in yesterday's 4-1 win for the Oaks. But I think the real turning point in this ball game at the end was that Jax Jimenez home run to right field. I mean, that thing was obliterated to right field, and you know, the Oaks, they took care of business again today.
Yeah, certainly. After the week they had last week, they've really been able to turn it around. And I think with all the drama that we've seen now 2 back-to-back 9th innings that have been filled with a lot of tension on both sides, and the way that the Oaks have just responded in the moment, staying cool, calm, and collected, and then delivering when they need to be. I think we just saw Braden Lowe do it here on the mound in the 9th inning with, you know, you have manager thrown out, player thrown out, you have the dugout screaming, you have fans all in it. I think to stay calm and collected is something the Oaks have kind of showed throughout the season of resilience, and they did again today. And it's a big win. I mean, this is, like I mentioned, a team that's just behind their backs at 3rd place in the South Division. To be able to get this win now gives yourself a little bit more of cushion. Now you head into a Friday game against the Santa Barbara Foresters, hopefully extending your winning streak to 3.
Yes, it'll be a 4:30 game start this Friday in Santa Barbara at Eddie Matthews Field. On behalf of our spectacular crew, we wish you all a great night. Alongside Judo Kanyas, I'm Sammy Fawn, and we will see you on Friday. Have a great one, everyone.